Yo, what's good? Top of the top, episode 197, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And just an episode. Saw some topics you may want to hear about. Salute to you as well. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, whatever you do to help support the podcast. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. All streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor app, YouTube. Leave comments, leave reviews, subscribe. Put your people on. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Before we get into this episode, I had my homeboy Jake pull up on me a couple weeks ago. I want to say we did this Christmas Eve, if I'm not mistaken. So towards the end, we get into a lot of sports talk. So if some of it sound outdated or the predictions or something like that may be wrong just because we recorded it ahead of time. So think back to probably, not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. We recorded that part then. So just to let y'all know, when we get to the sports segment, it might sound a little outdated. So just a heads up with that. Also, no episode next week. I'm going to come back the week after. If I'm not mistaken, let me check the date. I don't want to give out false information. So y'all hearing this the week of the 17th. So no episode the 24th. I'll be back on the 31st with the new episode. So no episode next week. I'll be back on the 31st. So yeah, just a heads up with that. And not to hold y'all up any longer, give it to y'all, episode 197. Shout out to my boy Jake. Let's get to it. Yo, it's your boy Tyler back with another guest. Make some noise. Close friend, close homie, my bro, Jake in the building. Jake Knight, what it do, family?
Hey, man.
It's a round of applause. It's a round of applause.
Yes. Finally, thank you for inviting me. This has been an honor. This is a Christmas gift to myself.
Oh, for sure, bro. Yes. Anytime. This Jake, really your third time on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, 2 times on audio, first time visual.
Yep, because we was at the crib with Watts, everybody. Mm-hmm. That was pre-video, and I called you in a couple months ago talking about one of the wrestling events.
It was a Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle. So this your first time in person, third time on the podcast. So thank you for coming through, man. Taking time out your schedule.
It was good, man.
Making it through this weather. You know what I'm saying? So
it is cold. Remember when you asked me, think over Thanksgiving break, you was like, hey, man, can you come on the podcast? I'm like, shit, I come on tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Because we do this with like regardless. So anytime we link up, we have conversations about music, sports, life in general. So it was just an easy call, man. Jake came through. He pulled up. He was on time, on schedule. So I really appreciate that aspect of it. So once again, man, thank you for coming through, bro.
Hey, man, thanks for inviting me, thinking to me as, hey, man, I think he's interested to talk to people who would like to hear what he got to say. But thank you for inviting me on your platform.
So first, man, let's start with, I'll say your food page.
Okay.
Let's start with that because I think that's very interesting as somebody who does the TikToks, travel with it now. Mm-hmm. So how did that idea come about?
Well, I was take it back to the childhood. Growing up, and I guess in a multicultural, multi-race household, because I am, they're probably looking at me like, what the hell he is.
Yeah.
I'm half black, half Filipino, and already that's 2 different cuisines under one household. Like you have your fried chicken, pork chops, mac and cheese, all that stuff. But also the Filipino side, my mom made like adobo. It's like you have your chicken adobo and pork adobo. That's like the quote-unquote national dish in the Philippines. Real easy to make. It's like a soy sauce and vinegar, salt, not sauce, but like basically like soy sauce, vinegar, put in your garlic, peppercorns, bay leaves, and kind of let your meat, chicken or pork like braise in it. Mm-hmm. Put some onions in there, garlic, and put over some white rice. Can't go wrong with that. Okay. Then we had other stuff growing up. We had a lumpia, basically like a spring roll, egg roll, and then we had a show pao, which is like a steamed pork or chicken dish. So it's like steamed bone, like some meat inside of it. Okay. And then we had something called a puto, P-U-T-O. Okay. It's kind of like I ain't had it in years. It was kind of like a sponge cake texture, and it's like the size of them little bites you get at Walmart. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the size of that. And growing up, we had like when my mom ordered it from the lady, she made like we would get like probably like that's like 100 of them, and all of them are like different colors. Okay. So so growing up, that kind of basically growing up in a race household, that right there kind of
sparked your interest in tasting different foods. Or
basically expanded my palate, and then growing up, my mom, she worked at a, I think I still don't know to this day what exactly it was, but it was like a printing manufacturer or something like that. They printed out like brochures, pamphlets, stuff like that. And one time, I think it was the summer of 10th grade going to 11th grade year, she brought home a cookbook.
Okay.
And then I was just reading it. I was making like pizza, brownies. Those were the two main dishes I remember because I remember they kept getting mad at me when I was like, hey, can you go to the store and get this after work and this after work? So it's like, just pick one thing and stick with it. And I had this blonde brownie recipe.
Okay.
I think it's just basically replace the cocoa with the brown sugar.
Okay.
And I tried to perfect that over that summer. But yeah, I think just like that growing up, like I said, multicultural household, just cooking a little bit here and there growing up kind of sparked my interest. And it was just something I sat on for a couple years.
Yeah.
You know, a couple years ago, just starting a food page because I stayed watching Food Network growing up, and now you got your food YouTubers, and I was okay. You know, I want to highlight stuff in my area.
Yeah.
But in not saying Columbus got a good food scene. Columbus got a great food scene, especially it started booming.
Yeah.
Over the past, let's say, 5 years or so. Yeah, but something just I don't know. Like I just I started second guessing myself. Like, well, who want to watch me do this and yada yada
Man,
yada.
you'll be surprised, man.
Then when earlier this year when I got a job like north of Atlanta, just like you know what, new town, new food. Let me just finally get this food page thing going. It's been fun, man.
Yeah.
We're on TikTok and Instagram. Or I'm mainly on Instagram, but I'm on TikTok as well. Debating on a Facebook page. More than likely, I'll make one sometime next year. But yeah, I've been having fun, man. Just trying out new things. I think this food page made me step out my comfort zone.
Exactly.
And just try food I never had because I would have never tried vegan food if it wasn't for this food page.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry for the long salute.
No, you good. You good. So from the move from Columbus to where you at now near Atlanta area, what are some places that, I don't want to say you got to shout one out and down the other, but what are some places that you recommend people go to, or different foods that people tried that you didn't try before, that you got put on to while doing this food page that you wasn't on before?
Okay, some places, usually, I like going to food halls. It's like one location and there's multiple venues there, so you get a little bit of everything in one place. So if I say someone's like, hey, Jacob, I want to go to Atlanta, where do I go? There's a few spots. Probably my favorite food hall I went to is called The Works. It's like Upper West Side Atlanta. I think I was speaking to the lady, only been there for a couple years, but I actually went there earlier this month to go film some stuff. I had Vietnamese food. I had a banh mi. It's kind of like a Vietnamese sandwich, which was really good. And I had this place called Bait Kitchen. It was a South African street food.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. That's probably my favorite food hall I've been to. If I had to pick a couple favorite, like just standalone restaurants, there was this ramen spot in Midtown called I was getting the name wrong. I was butcher name is Kino Tori Ramen, and right there I had something called takoyaki for the first time, and it's like a hole in the wall ramen shop. But yeah, it's called a takoyaki. How I explain this? Because technically people call it deep fried octopus balls, but like some people, if I say that, they think it's the actual thing. But it's, if I had to just compare, let's say it's a hush puppy with like octopus in it.
Okay.
And like, you bite into it, and it's like a flavor bomb. There was so much stuff going on. It was like on the verge of too much, but it was just enough just to get you like, wow, this is something I never tasted before. And once you get past like you're chewing on the suction, it tastes pretty good.
Okay. Dope. So you saying you was like hesitant about starting the food page and everything. So how did you adjust going to restaurants and filming content?
My plan is normally I try to go as soon as it opens. So let's say a spot opens at 11:30, try to pull up around that time. Usually nobody there. And that's when I usually get all my content. But sometimes I try to film like in a corner because you know how the people poke fun at food content creators. They got they bring the lighting stick, they bring the DSLR camera. They're all up doing this. I'm like real quick with it, like what's the word? I'm very I use precision. Like sometimes I just be like this, then look around, make sure no one looking at me. Either way, I don't care. I'll be like this, then
Yeah.
I get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, I usually try to be in the back corner or get there as soon as it opens, so there's not that many people there.
Okay, so how was it doing the traveling? 'Cause I know you went to Houston over the summer.
No, that was September for my birthday.
September. Okay, so how was that? Was that more, for one, of course, it was some leisure because you going out of town and doing all that. So that was the first place on your list where you like, let me go outside of where I'm normally at, the Atlanta area, Columbus area. Let me go to a place I know it's a lot of food, different types of food. So was Houston number one on your list, or you just like picked from a hat and decided, oh, I'm gonna go to Houston?
Well, funny story. Yeah, because originally I wanted to go to Charlotte, North Carolina for my birthday. But I was like, you know what, let me just splurge on myself, go somewhere else they got to fly to. And I just Googled cheap flight from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Houston was number 3 behind, I think it was Philly and Dallas.
Okay.
I was like, Houston, cool little city. I always wanted to go. Flew there. Well, of course, I looked up spots there. Like, I knew I wanted to go to a barbecue place. You know, Houston is, or Texas is known for their barbecue.
Yeah.
I looked up that. Looked up a couple food halls there just to hit a lot of spots at one time. But yeah, Houston, real good food city.
Okay, dope. And I told you, in terms of food halls, I went to that Marietta Square and that Cafe Bourbon Street. Tell me, man, I saw you finally went to Papados too. How was it?
It was good. It was for my uncle's retirement dinner.
Okay.
Like I didn't want to film because he said he paid for everybody. It was something in my soul. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Knowing food I didn't technically pay for because we got there. It was the uncle that
we stayed in for the concert. Yeah.
I still talk to him. Like, hey man, my friends, man, they still talk about how nice you were when we stayed over.
Yeah, for the Kendrick Lamar TDE concert. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
that was a fun time, man, for sure.
Oh yeah. So he just gave everybody a $70 gift card, and I was like, I could work with this.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Uncle.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Uncle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my first time. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I love it. I love Papados. Sticking with the food real quick, the food page and everything, how do you adapt to the social media? Because you one person who I know, like I go to your Instagram, So Yeah, I'm Eating Instagram page. I'm like, damn, Jake killing these reels and the TikToks. And I see you'll repost, like the actual restaurant you tag them, they'll repost it. So how did that feel knowing that something you was hesitant about at first, now you doing it, you upload content and you see, oh, okay, if I do this, the restaurants will repost it. You might, who knows, you can build a relationship with the restaurant owners or something like that. So how did that feel knowing that something you was hesitant about is kind of coming back around and you saying to yourself, oh, okay, this can work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, the goal for me, I just do this for fun.
Yeah.
The goal is not to get big and
but you never know though. Cause
like
you said, the food channel, we seen people just, damn, bro, just eating, traveling and eating. Like,
like the end goal is like, you know, if I don't make it big, I'm not gonna sit back and be like, oh, this was a failure. You know, I'm doing this for fun. But hey, you never know. If something happens, if someone sees me and they want to sponsor me or whatever, hey, I'll take the opportunity if it's right. But yeah, like the goal is not to when I tag a restaurant and them to respond or share my stuff. Like that's more of a how I put this. I can't think of the word.
It just so happened that they reposted.
Yeah. That's cool. Like, some of them, like, they DM me. You know, sometimes on Instagram we get tagged in something easy, like in a message saying, hey, so-and-so tagged you and stuff. Yeah, some of them might message me like, hey, thanks for stopping by. Some of them repost. Some of them actually follow back.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty blessed to, you know, because they didn't have to do that. You know, you got like 10,000 followers, but only follow like 100 people. But one of them 100 people is me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang. You know, when you think about it, like, dang.
Yeah, man, just show the power of social media. Like we down it a lot, but it's a lot of positive that can come from it. You can make a lot of connections from people that you never would expect just by tagging them or just by hashtagging the right content, whatever. You never know who you may reach because I'm sure you see it like I see it. It's like, dang, like you'll post something, you'll get this many views, but then in your mind, you like, shit, this video going crazy. It's like, of course, it may be bots and all that, but you still like, hey, it reached a certain amount of people. So you got to take the small L's the small W's with the big W's at the end of the day. Like I know people like to say, yo, all these bots and all that. Like you see the bots, but hey, man, when you actually getting real interaction with these restaurants and like you said, they following you, you got to salute that at the end of the day too.
Oh,
So that's dope, man.
Yeah, because one of my things is is in everything, no matter what kind of content creating you're ready to do, a food page, podcasting, workout videos, whatever. I tell myself everything's not gonna be a home run.
Hell yeah.
Like there's videos on my Instagram. I think my highest video is 30K, but my lowest video is like 250.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get them 250 view videos. It's kind of humbling.
Yeah.
Because you expect their video.
But you still respect those 250 though.
Oh yeah, hey, they took time out to look.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think any traction, whether like I said, it's bots, it's negative comments. I have gotten a couple. Me, like, I don't think it wasn't really a hate comment. It was like I went to this barbecue place in Houston.
Yeah.
And I ate a boudin sausage. You ever had a boudin sausage? Nah. I think it's, if I'm correct,
I heard of it, but I never. Yeah.
I think it's popular in like the Gulf, like New Orleans and Mobile and all that stuff. But I had a brisket boudin. Of course, we're in Texas.
Yeah. And
you already know how social media is when a man eats a hot dog,
sausage
dog.
The glizzy.
Yeah. Actually, a dude commented. He called me. I actually tried to look it up yesterday so I get the phrasing right.
Yeah.
But it's deleted. I think he called me a glizzy gobbler.
Glizzy gobbler. Yo, the glizzy.
Yeah,
they be killing me with that.
Yes,
yeah.
But then one time I posted on my story. I was eating like a beef skewer.
Yeah.
And Micah, who makes our logo.
Shout out to Micah. Yeah, shout out to Micah.
He was like, Jacob, are you comfortable eating all that meat on camera? And I just responded, it just comes with the territory, man.
You
like,
know what you signed up for,
like,
man.
How else I'm supposed to eat a hot dog?
Yeah. As long as you ain't licking no ice cream and nothing like that, you all right. But you got to eat the hot dog.
Yeah, there's only one way to eat a hot dog.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike. Yeah.
And someone else was like, on a comment, I think on that same barbecue video, they was like, the food look good till you start eating it. Like,
what?
Like, what I'm supposed to do with the food, just record it and just sit there?
Throw it away. Like, what the hell? Hell nah.
But either way, I just look at those, be like, hey, even though that was a hateful comment, it's still a comment.
It's still a comment,
Thank you for the view.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that just goes back, for some reason, I just always, it goes back to the fact that we were active and we was outside before social media. So we know, we know it's a difference between internet people and real life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Michael, that's your boy, but, we're going to have fun. We're going to joke.
Oh, yeah.
So when we see it on the internet, it's not like we're going to go back and forth with nobody about how to eat a hot dog and how to, he was talking about the glizzy gobbler. Yeah. Like, we ain't about to go back and forth. Like, okay, that was funny. Like, we say jokes in person.
Yeah,
so we not uncommon with joking on people and all that and receiving jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, social media, my thing is, if you have a anime girl or a Ford F-150 as a profile picture, I'm not going back and forth.
Yeah. Or no profile picture at all. Yeah. And if you still got numbers and all that in your ad, I know you a bot probably. Like, whatever, 1960354. I'm like, come on, man. Like, all right, you got it.
Yeah, it's all subjective, Like,
yeah.
But anyway, still, thank you for the view. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the comment. It bundles up in the algorithm.
All right, so switching lanes from podcasting to newsletter, High Times newsletter. Mm-hmm. How did all that came about? I'm still interested to see how that transition, what made that transition happen.
Okay, so I started off podcasting. Well, I got the idea. First, I think you started off doing it. Then I think it was the late 2018. I was visiting my cousin in California. She's like a model, but she does like different stuff. I think she did like art, and now she does like photography on the side. And I was just talking to her. It's like, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. She was like, she was very supportive. Like, yeah, go for it, all that stuff.
All right.
Then I was working 2 jobs at a time. The job I had, and I worked at a Little Caesars as my second job. And I was starting to get burned out working 2 jobs. And I think I was about to leave Little Caesars like in May 2019. And I was like, okay, so I'm about to have all this free time. So let me just do this podcast thing, see how it is. I think I called you, hit you up for some, to pick your brain about stuff as well.
Yeah.
Started it, had a lot of fun doing it. 160 episodes in, taught a whole bunch of, Marvel, DC sports, anime, just other stuff that I like, and I assume other people liked as well, because one of my inspirations to start a podcast was like, we're all adults. We got, at the time, college, school, work, all that stuff. We don't see each other every day, don't talk every day.
Yeah.
And every time I ran into friends, it was like you and the other friends, we all talked about sports, the Marvel movies, all that stuff. And like, let me just combine all that into one.
Right.
Like, we don't talk every day, but maybe if they still want to know my thoughts or have someone talk about it.
Exactly.
Podcast form. like I said, had fun. 160 episodes. I think Black Panther was the last podcast episode.
The newest Black Panther.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my Anchor account got hacked.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that wasn't like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
But like the last 2 months, I felt like it was becoming a hassle. Like something like, oh, I gotta do it this week, rather than looking forward to doing it.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, this is something I usually do in the week. We can go ahead and knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
There was times where I was doing it all on a Sunday. Like I type it up, read it, make sure it's right, record it, edit it. So that's like maybe a 4-hour process.
Yeah.
Then I was just getting burnt out on it, and I was like, you know what? I think, since it got hacked, I think it's a good time to transition into a newsletter because, no pun intended, I talk about the Marvel movies a lot. That was the end game, no pun intended. Like I said, it was always a newsletter and or blog. I just basically expedited the process.
Okay.
And I was going to wait until the new year to post it, like announce, hey, I'm doing this, all that stuff. I was like, you know what? It's Thanksgiving break. Take a couple weeks off, and we just rebranded, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's how the High Times newsletter was born, even though on social media it's still a High Infinity Pod because Facebook is giving me a hard time with the name change. I tried to change it a couple of times. They're like, well, this page is the name. People might misconstrue it for something else.
Oh, it's the name that they trip. Okay, I'm thinking you having trouble just changing the name.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's okay.
Like, so they tell me other Facebook pages have
Smokers Club and
Smokers Club. We sell weed.
Yeah.
And I can't change to the High Times. People might think, keep talking about drugs.
Okay, I know you said I'm trying to change the name, but they give me a hard. I'm thinking it's just the simple fact that they won't let you change the name. I didn't know it was the name of what you're trying to change.
Yeah.
That would okay.
And I thought about changing it again, but I was like, I already put it out there. I'm changing it to this. Let me just keep it. And of course, with Twitter, after Elon Musk bought it, you can't change your name unless you what's it, Twitter Blue?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ain't paying $12 just to be on Twitter.
Nah.
So
They've been talking about that for years. About y'all gotta start paying for Twitter. If I gotta pay for Twitter, I'm leaving Twitter.
Oh,
I'm not paying just to go on social media.
I ain't paying for an edit button.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that. No.
Yeah, but it's the High Times newsletter or the High Times, but it's still under the podcast social media tags.
Okay, then. Dope. And I appreciate you doing the newsletter because, we went to Troy University. You seen me in the J Lab. I saw you in the J Lab. We come from typing up, or like if you like me, you got to write a 5-page essay, whatever. I write it down first, then I type it up. So we come from that. So it's good to see people still can go on and type blogs and put it into words and not necessarily speak because that's something, the biggest knock with podcasting. Everybody got a voice. And some people don't use their voice to their best, they should, in terms of just coming on here and giving out false information or just, like I said, being disrespectful to certain people, certain cultures, whatever. So just you going back to the good old days of typing it, putting it out, making people read.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just listen, like, no, you got to read this. Coming from a person who went to school for journalism, I respect that 1,000.
Oh, thank you.
I respect that 1,000. So what are some things you're doing with the newsletter that you wasn't doing with the podcast? Is it the same content, or you putting more? I know the podcast was more about movies and all that. So now with the blogs, are you gonna do like write-ups on basketball games, football games, sports news, movies, comic books, reviews? Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Oh yeah, that's basically the newsletter is basically a different form of content creation than the podcast. Basically, like in a way, it's the podcast, but in words.
Okay.
And like I think with the newsletter, I wanted to be more, how I put this, it gives me more freedom, leeway. Like let's say something comes out Monday, I can type something up, put it out Tuesday instead of waiting, Thursday later on for that week.
Okay.
And I could be more, I can't think of the word. I can't think of nothing. It's basically like I could just, it gives me more, like I said, leeway. If I want to put 2-3 posts out a week, I can. I want to do once a week, I can. I can do twice a week. If I want to do a month, I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the same thing. If let's say I did, I think the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer was like one of my first things I put up there. I think it came out on a Monday. Typed it up in like 15 minutes, a little paragraph, sums it up. Put the trailer link in there. Because sometimes on a podcast when I talked about the trailer, 9 times out of 10 everybody hasn't seen it.
Yes, so you could post that link.
Yeah. At the bottom, so you can either watch it then read it, or read it then watch it. But yeah, I did that. I did the college football playoffs. When it comes to sports, I'm probably gonna talk about like big events like playoffs, Super Bowl, NFL playoffs, all that stuff. And also, I was actually writing my year end, like the 10 best things I watched in 2022.
Okay.
I think that comes out New Year's Eve. Gotta get that plug in.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the newsletter was basically just the podcast, but in a different format. You're still gonna get the same content: sports, movies, anime, all that stuff. Of course, when the Marvel movies come out, I can type it up with more like precise thoughts instead of just like, oh yeah, it was good because of blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I could probably talk about the plot a little bit more, dive in a little bit more detail and stuff like that. But but that's basically what was the purpose of the newsletter, just a different form of content creation or content distribution.
Creating your own lane.
Yeah.
I respect it, bro. And being that, I always wanted to ask you this too, even going back to the podcast and now with the newsletter, being where you at now near Atlanta, have you looked into like going to different conventions in terms of anime? 'Cause I know you deep into the anime, deep into Marvel. I know they have different conventions. You ever thought about like going out there and just scoping the scene and networking or something like that? Have you ever thought? It's just a random question. Like I always thought about it.
I always wanted to go to a convention. I know Atlanta has, I know they got Dragon Con, they got Atlanta Comic Con. I think AWA, they call it Anime Week in Atlanta. I haven't thought about it in depth, but the goal, like the big goal is to go to Comic Con in San Diego. That's like the end all be all, the biggest one.
Okay.
Maybe a few years later, that's a goal, but I haven't really thought about just going to one.
Okay.
But maybe, if I see it, I have enough time to prepare. I'm not going to dress up or anything. I just want to go to see go up and see the sites. I put a shirt on. That's at the most I'll do.
Yeah. All right, so that's dope, man. Plugging in once again your food page and your newsletter, by the way.
Yes. So yeah, I'm eating. We're on. I think the tag is gonna be up there, but we're on Instagram and TikTok. Whether you follow both, follow either or. Yeah, Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, I'm eating food page, or not food page, Facebook page should be coming sometime in 2023, and got the High Times newsletter. We're at High on Infinity Podcast on Facebook and High Infinity Pod on Twitter. Just whenever I do a post, just, it'll probably take about 2-3 minutes to read. Any support will be good.
All right.
On either platform.
Facts. So now, let's switch lanes once again. Let's go to sports real quick. Let's do some sports talk. First, I want to ask you about Auburn football.
Okay. Because,
bro, being a fan of football, fan of sports, we know when you get a moral, they call it a moral victory in terms of the season over with. But when y'all, I forgot, I don't know, Mississippi State, I don't know who y'all beat at home, but y'all won in Cadillac. You would have thought y'all just won the national championship.
Oh, yeah.
Cadillac was running around the field. Of course, I think me and you was on the same page in terms of he might not be head coach, but just keep him on the coaching staff, which they've done.
Oh yeah, I want to say he's the same position.
Yeah, he don't got to be the head coach. Like me being an Ohio State fan, me and you were talking though as people who like sports. Like, yeah, he might not get head coach, but I think they should still keep him on the staff. Coming from an Auburn fan, seeing that the victory, what do you think Auburn needs to go now with a new head coach, no matter, the opinion about him or whatnot, in terms of just football on the field, where do you think Auburn needs to start at to get y'all back to where y'all want to be?
Yeah, of course, with Hugh Freeze, he comes with baggage. We're going to say that. You can look it up online. I think where we need to go, we have good players. I think Robbie Ashford can be, once you mold him and coach him up, I think he could be a pretty good quarterback because in my opinion, Auburn, I say within his last, 10 years or so, his best years was when they did like a read option. You had a quarterback that can both run and pass, like Nick Marshall, Cam Newton, Bo Nix here and there, Bo. I know Auburn fans was on Bo Nix, but at the end of the day, like athletically, he had everything. But with that position of quarterback, half of it is mental.
Yeah, it takes more than just running. You got to still be able to read defenses and
And now he's at Oregon balling, having me sit back like, dang, maybe Rui was us.
Yeah.
But hey, I root for Bo Nix for afar. Hope he do good. He thinks he's coming back for his 5th season.
Yeah, I saw he said he returning,
Yeah, so maybe he has a good year. He could probably, I say a 3rd or 4th round draft pick, maybe even higher. You never know. But but back to Auburn, I think Hugh Freeze is more of an offensive-minded coach. So I think he's going to, probably, like I said, do a little more read options, spread the ball out. Also, you need the players too.
Okay. And last thing with college football, because you talking about players and all that, the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to be that crazy, and I understand that you want to get playing time and all that. Do you think at the end of the day it's going to benefit some players more than others? Like we see with Bo Nix, his situation, but it seems like, because I'm not deep into, I know my team, even I don't even know the recruits and all that. I'm not that deep into it, but you seeing like these people transferring, it's like, yo, why don't you just play your role, stick with the team? If you're a sophomore, that don't mean you got to start. Just come back, learn on the sideline, learn how to read the defense from the sideline. It just, I get it. You want to get the money, the NIL situation. I understand it. So at the end of the day, you think it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, the transfer portal?
I think it depends. I think USC, they had 4 wins last year, and they got, of course, with Caleb Williams, they had 20 other transfer portal players, and now they have 11 wins possibly 12 with the bowl games. I say in some cases it can be good. That's an easy way to get good.
Okay.
With your recruits and your transfer portal people coming in, but also with transfer portal, what I see or what I think, a lot of their kids at the end of the day. So kids, especially great college players, great high school players, they have egos. Let's say with Alabama, they come in, hey, I'm a 5-star quarterback. I did this, this, and this. Well, you're in the other room with other 3 or 4 5-star quarterbacks. And I don't know if they know. Only one person can play quarterback.
Yeah, right.
And maybe, let's say they don't get it. I'm going to transfer here. I'm definitely start. And I think it's one of them, they don't want to, I won't say they don't want to put the work in, but they want that immediate, I come in, boom, I'm starting already.
Yeah, and it goes with the times, too. That's how the days were. That everybody want to instantly pop. They want the instant success. But sometimes you just got to wait your turn. Like how Tua did. I think you saw the picture with Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Matt Jones. All at Alabama, Ohio State. We had Joe Burrow, and he transferred, went to LSU, and we see what he became. So sometimes you got to play your role, and sometimes you got to trust in yourself and trust that, okay, if I leave this school and go to another school, I'm going to show them why I should have started when I was at my old school. So it really just by player basis, in my opinion.
Yeah, just depends on the player. Also, it's not a guarantee that you're in you leave one school, go to another school, you're going to be starting.
Yeah, because that coach got they got their own thing going on that side of the country in some cases that, you doing this in the Big Ten, but you come to the USC, that don't mean we operate the same as, a Penn State or whatever like that. So, yeah, it's just player by places, team by team, coach by coach, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, damn Lakers, man.
Just look into the camera.
Damn Lakers, man. We didn't want to say it. Nobody didn't want to say it. When it was going on, I was happy for him. Anthony Davis was balling out. I was like, yeah, he doing what he doing. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, man, he might want to sit out before. Not really, because you thinking it's like, you're like, dang, bro, need to sit probably a couple games. When you sit, you're like, he probably get rusty. He probably get a little bit comfortable sitting out. So, you got to play. But when he plays, bro, any given moment, it can happen.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Oh, man, because he was during that 10 to 15 game stretch.
He had a stretch where he was balling, bro. And everybody like, yo, Anthony Davis, we know this is what he can do when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. We know that. But in the back of our mind, bro, that injury bug, it just don't seem to go away.
I might need to fly to LA and just see what the hell he do during the offseason. I know California, people hike up mountains. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I
think I saw one play he got hurt when he was in the air, jumping in the air. There was he felt it when he was in the air. I was like, damn,
Also drink some milk too, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, the good milk. This day you got almond milk, whatever. I bro, find what fit for you, bro. Do something, man. But it ain't even just Anthony Davis with our Lakers, bro. Just the way the team is constructed.
Yeah,
it's we gonna take what we get each game. It's not like a set type of style. It's game by game, and there's so many great teams in the league, man. You can't operate on a game-by-game basis. You got to have some type of identity. And with Anthony Davis out, it's now it's a free-for-all. We got Braun, we got Westbrook, we got AR-15. We got so many other people. It's it just don't gel well. I didn't see it gelling well when we got Westbrook.
Yeah, for me, it's
I don't put the blame on him, but that's just a player where it's he's a wild card, damn near.
Yeah, 'cause at first I wasn't doing cartwheels when we got Russ. When you think about it, we traded Kuzma.
We traded our core.
Yeah, Kuzma, KCP, and Harrell. And essentially, when they got Westbrook, they ain't had enough money to pay Caruso. So essentially, you lost 4 players in that trade. 4 players. Well, 3 of them was the core of your title team.
And Harrell should have been playing more.
Oh
really.
yeah, I was amped when we got Harrell.
Yeah.
Okay, like bench production, all that stuff. Yeah, but like I said, I know some Laker fans are like, oh my God, it's all Russ' fault. Like, no, it's not all.
It's not all his fault.
Granted, shooting 5 and 19 and 10 turnovers, that didn't help. I think the year they won the title, they wasn't a good 3-point shooting team. They just got hot at the right time.
Got hot in the bubble at the right time. Yep.
Yeah, but with LeBron, he's playing great for a player to be this way in his career. But at the same time, you don't want to rely on a guy in year 20
we can't
to be the best player.
We can't. That's what I'm saying. It's so many great young players. We could have got Buddy Hield. We could have got certain players that we needed. Maybe not a star talent, but somebody who can, Ant Davis out like he is now. We got somebody who can step up to the plate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On a consistent basis and not, like you said, go for 5 for 19 and be airballing mid-range shots or something like that. So it just, I don't know what's going on in that front office, man. It just seemed like they rolled the dice on Russ, and I'm like, but you should know what type of players LeBron need around him. Why would you roll the dice on a player like? Then you brought in Patrick Beverley. I'm like, ain't these dudes like fucking Dr. X and Magneto or something like? Don't they like hate each other? Like, why would you bring somebody in that? I don't know, man.
I remember the day I got the notification on ESPN that we got Patrick Beverley. I just looked at my phone for like 5 minutes. Like,
it don't make sense.
Actually, I did like the team we had after the championship year.
The injuries,
Yeah, it was just LeBron, AD, you had Kuzma.
We lost to the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold, Caruso. Like, Grant, I think we should have ran that team back. Maybe change a couple pieces here and there. Not get Westbrook, but change a couple things here and there. Like I said, we was up 2-1 in that series. Of course, injuries happen, but can't make no excuses. We lost the series.
Yeah.
But like you said, the West is getting good. Like the Suns, was a punching bag 4 years ago. That was, you looked at the Suns 4 years ago. Oh boy, the Suns easy dub. Now they're not an easy win. Memphis, even let's say the younger teams like Houston, and I can't think of another.
Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, Denver Nuggets.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Utah before, but now they done stripped. They cleaned it up a little bit in Utah. But when Mitchell was there and Gobert, they were still around for real.
They were still a contending team.
Who else? It's another team we missing. Golden State, of course.
Yeah, Golden State.
Yeah, so that's the league in general, like the East and West. Like you just can't. You never know what to expect any given night.
Oh yeah.
Like the Knicks at the time, I know the Knicks was on like an 8-game win streak.
I think they're still on it.
8-9 game win streak. They picked up the point guard from Dallas, and he fitting in well with them. It just now you really can't. You can build a team, but it's now best to have that core where we know we got a Giannis, Middleton, Holiday. We got 3 automatically secured. They're not going nowhere for a couple of years. They just surround those 3 guys with people. You got Memphis. Core, they got their whole team. Steven Adams, the OG, they got a whole team. So with Ja Morant out, we can still win 20 games without Ja Morant.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just the way the league is set up now, and I like it that way. So I don't think I asked you who you got like representing East and West.
Ooh, that's tough because I watch NBA here and there. Like I said, till Christmas come on, that's when I start that's
when everybody locking in.
Yeah, I just looked up the standings like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah,
but out of the East and West, I say.
Who you prefer to see in the finals?
I'm a Giannis guy, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think he's my favorite player in the league to watch. He's been my favorite player since Kobe retired, so I kind of root for him. I know that people say he don't got a bag, like he's either just running, like charging straight to the paint. But hey, he won a title with that, so
you dominant and you got players surrounding you. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but of course the East ain't gonna be easy. You still got the Celtics. I think the Sixers is gonna have a saying in it as well. I'm probably missing another team in there. You gotta always count the Heat in, But I think the Bucks are gonna. I like the Bucks in the East and the West. Who is tough because Steph is hurt at the moment. Even with Steph being hurt, they wasn't really playing really good basketball.
Yeah, they started very slow.
The Suns have been. I think the Suns are getting blown out when I watched them last night against Memphis.
I think they was on a losing streak for a minute.
Oh yeah, ever since Chris Paul got exposed, I'm just joking. They've been on that losing streak. But the West is so deep because the Pelicans are playing really good now. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks, and I know the Nuggets are playing really good now.
Don't forget Cleveland too out east.
Oh yeah, Cleveland got a nice little core too. Yeah, they're gonna have something to say too. And I want to get the West answering before I ask you something. The West. Ooh, that's tough on the West. I gotta think.
Man.
I'm just gonna say Bucks and
Your boy Luka.
Luka's still playing. You know, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go Bucks Nuggets. Two of my favorite players, Giannis and Jokic.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question. Or have you heard that? I don't know what's the how true this is. They're saying, I think I saw Bleacher Report put this out.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that don't be shocked if Trae Young asked for a trade.
I've been seeing they would say he been having some back and forth with the head coach.
Yeah.
I've been seeing. I saw it, if not yesterday, day before yesterday.
Oh yeah.
It was some page on Instagram. I didn't know if it was like a valid page,
Oh, yeah.
but they had like a slideshow of like behind the scenes news that people not talking about. And I remember I watching one of the Hawks game on Bally Sports, the Hawks home network. And I think Dominique or Vince Carter, one of the guys who announced those games, he was like, yeah, hopefully they can put that behind them. I think they had a conversation. I was like, oh, I ain't heard about this before. It really hasn't been talked about because you got to listen to like the Hawks network.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did hear that. I've heard that, but I feel like, I mean, they got Murray now, so
Yeah.
and Trae Young. If you watch those games, I love to watch them play, but you watch Trae Young, bro. Sometimes he'll just come up the court and just shoot it. And it's like, damn, dog, like set up a play or something. So
Like 20 seconds on the shot clock.
I feel like if that's the case for real, I don't think they'll be hesitant to let him go.
Well,
If they can get a good trade for him.
oh yeah.
Like I said, they got Murray. I think they said Collins was on the
He
trade.
was on the trade block.
Yes.
Everything. I think ever since the offseason.
So I wouldn't be surprised they'd be like, hey man, we can get a good deal for you. We'll let you go. We got Murray. Like, you had a good run. We went to New York and all that, but since then, you ain't really showed improve. I think it was the conference finals that year?
Yeah.
So hey, you did that, but I don't think they'll be hesitant to let him go if they can get a good deal for him.
Lakers, we got someone for you.
Yeah, we got plenty of people.
We got one person. We'll trade you straight up for him.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I'm gonna be mad at it.
I'm going to a Hawks game in January. So long as he don't get traded before that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Trae on the Lakers.
Oh yeah.
I like him as a player, but I'm
yeah.
saying in terms of if him and the coach of the Hawks having an issue and they talking about trading him, if they can get a good deal, I wouldn't be shocked if the Hawks made that deal. If they can get a good deal for him.
Like I said, Lakers got a great deal for him.
If they can get a good deal, and I like that Lakers move because that's on the West. I don't think they'll trade him to like
Oh yeah, they ain't gonna trade him to somebody
East.
they might see in the playoffs.
Exactly. So hey, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. All right, let's go to NFL, man. Real quick. I can't remember the last time a Super Bowl champion had just came and went.
Oh. You're hitting me with Auburn, the Lakers, and now the Rams. Once I saw that on the lineup, I was like, man, he hit me with everything.
It's like, bro, after like week 2, I completely forgot about the Rams. I haven't heard nothing about SoFi Stadium, nothing like that. So y'all got the chip though.
Yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
like y'all lost and you know what I'm saying, whatever. So first off, what's your thoughts about the Rams season?
I thought even with the full lineup, we was still, I think 3-3, 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
I know offensive line was ravaged going into the season, and now the season progressing. I think all the starters are hurt now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they shut Stafford down for the year because he got a concussion. Cooper Kupp had a high ankle sprain, so he's out for the year. Allen Robinson, the second guy, even though he hasn't been performing good, he's out with a foot injury for the rest of the year. They shut Aaron Donald down. I think a high ankle sprain.
Oh, so no wonder.
It's just injuries at the end.
Yeah.
Oh
shit!
Yeah.
No wonder then.
It just happens, man.
Yeah.
You know, all you can use injury as an excuse, but at the same time, you know, we are what your record is. You
Yeah.
can't really, you know.
Yeah, and y'all were built to win last year too.
Oh yeah. Like if they didn't win last year,
Yeah.
and then you have this year, then I'll be like, dang. But hey,
Y'all took
usually-
advantage last year. Yeah.
a Super Bowl usually buy you 3-4 years.
Yeah. What do you think of this whole thing with Odell, man? Like,
Oh.
is it over with? Is he just saying, I'll just wait it out? Because for like, what 2-3 weeks ago, it just felt like the Cowboys were it.
Oh, yeah.
He was at the games with them and everything. So what you think about that?
I think they said Odell, he just went to free agency now, but I think that 'cause they said that he'll be ready in January, which
Yeah.
is, you know, if he goes to a playoff team, I'm pretty sure they don't want to try to incorporate someone in the middle of a playoff
Yeah.
run. But they were saying that like Odell didn't want to work out for nobody, but teams are like,
Oh, bro, you just came back from what, ACL?
yeah, I'm saying like with teams, they want to see you.
Yeah.
They want to see you run. Like, okay, it's great analogy, because you just bought a car recently, what, a year or two ago?
Yeah, 2020 pandemic.
Okay,
yeah.
so when you went to the lot, you picked out, okay, I want this car.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't just getting the damn car and drive off the lot.
No.
You get a test drive it. And
no.
these teams, they're going to invest millions of dollars in you.
Yeah.
They want to see, hey, can he still cut? Can he still run this route, run that route without the knee bothering him? They want to see what you can do before they invest their time, money.
And it was a no-contact injury when you got hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I didn't know that was even possible. There's a lot of stuff I've been thinking about in sports. I didn't know it was even possible.
Uh-huh.
It was something – I forgot something else that happened. I was like, bro, I didn't know that was even the Boston Celtics situation with the coach, and they're like, maybe Brooklyn may pick him up. I didn't know that was possible. With Odell, they was like, yeah, if he come on, he coming in January before the playoffs. I was like, bro, I didn't know that was even a thing. I think
as long as technically your season is still going on, you can pick somebody up.
Okay, I just never heard nobody like, imagine if Tom Brady then when they was undefeated that year, they're like, you know what, to add on to the fact, let's bring in such and such on defense before the playoffs. And I never thought about that because they were like, yeah, he might go with the Cowboys. And I was like, yeah, it seemed like, he had games with Diggs and Michael Parsons and all them. So, yeah, I just wanted to, get your thoughts on that. How you feel about the season overall in terms of how Minnesota, they came back last weekend against the Colts. I think with Detroit Lions, they started off horrible and now they done won like 6-7 straight. Mm-hmm. Buffalo still in the midst, of course. So how you feel about the season overall and fantasy as well?
I'll probably start the season as a whole first. It's been pretty fun, I think during the Vikings game they were down like 30-0. I was like, I always thought they were the team on borrowed time. But there's no way you can keep winning close games every single week. And then they came back and won. The Bills, I think the Bills are a built to win now team like the Rams were last year. Of course, you always got to look out for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They've been there, done that. And in the NFC, I know the Eagles been a surprise. I did not have the Eagles going.
Philly been
13-1.
Is Hurts playing tomorrow?
No, I think it Hurts out with a shoulder injury.
Damn.
Yeah,
that was gonna be it, boy.
And they're saying that might hurt his MVP case.
I can't. Patrick Mahomes second, right?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes go out this weekend and throw like 4 touchdowns. It's probably, it's probably done. But I think this season's been real. It's been a good one. You never know. Like usually the past few years have been like, okay, it's going to be Tom Brady out of this and maybe a couple other teams in the AFC or NFC, wherever. And, can't forget about Joe Burrow. Yeah,
Burrow, Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, those guys. Yeah.
They got a team, too. They're one of the teams that built through the draft.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, don't be sleeping on Miami, too.
Oh, yeah.
We know Tyreek Hill. But you see that play? Was it last week? I think it was last week. It was a fumble, and the O-lineman, swiped it to Tyreek Hill.
He picked it up and ran?
Man, I was like, yeah I never, bruh. Shout out to Deion Sanders, prime time. Many NFL players with nicknames that fit them.
Oh, yeah.
But Tyreek Hill and Cheetah probably the greatest nickname for a football player I can think. Probably not the greatest nickname, but the nickname that fits him, that in the refrigerator. Oh. But Tyreek Hill, when he say he Cheetah, that shit was crazy. He picked it up, bro, and ran.
Yeah, he just ran around. He just picked it up and go straight. He cut it back and ran all the way other side. That's just something you can't just draw. Yeah. That's just something you gotta look at the coach, but hey man, I didn't expect that to happen.
You get back to the sideline, you just gotta be like, hey.
Yeah, and also it's good. It's a good time for the NFL because, the heavy hitters, Brady and Rodgers, they're struggling or their teams are struggling. So it's good to see the young guns, your Josh Allen, Mahomes been there, done that already. Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts. There's someone else in the NFC.
I want to see my boy step up, man, from the Chargers too.
Herbert,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I want to see him step up.
But the Chargers, it's just every year they get hit with an injury or something. Mm-hmm. There's one of them teams sometimes they just have bad luck.
Yeah, I love seeing the memes now. Anytime Rodgers or Brady lose, they got the SpongeBob. How many times you got to show you this old man?
Yeah. I love when it's always funny when Brady lose, and they always share that Brock Lesnar video when he's talking to Hulk Hogan, like parties over, Grandpa.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So who you got Super Bowl? Who you got? Well, matchup, and you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say, even though they're struggling, I'm not saying this team's gonna go to the Super Bowl, but even though they're struggling, you can never count Tom Brady out in the playoffs. Like he's like the NFL version of a final boss in a video game. When they get where you need to get, you probably got to go through Tom Brady. But I think in order for him to retire, someone got to like beat his team down. They got to beat him like 45-10 or something. You can't just get a close loss and okay, we had him. Maybe I'll come back next. No, you got to beat him down. But out of the NFC, it's tough because everybody's on the Eagles right now, and I want to be the guy. I'm just picking chalk. I think got the Eagles, Cowboys are there, Minnesota. Who else?
Minnesota. I'm trying to think of who.
I'm trying to get the divisions in my head.
Yeah.
Tampa, but they won't make it to the playoffs anyway. But I think
Giants in the mix.
I don't.
They in the NFC.
Yeah,
East.
they're in the mix, but I don't think
like the East and the South and switch roles this year.
Yeah.
Like the East were the least. What they call NFC least.
Yeah.
And now the South is more like that. Now
if I had to pick a team.
Yeah, I think those are the top three.
Yeah,
Eagles.
Yeah, if I want to pick the Eagles. Everybody's picking them up. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say, hell, give me the Vikings.
Okay.
I just said they're on borrowed time, and
I got the Eagles and the Bills, and I want the Bills to win because Griselda.
Okay, I can see that. But at the AFC, it's between three teams: Bills, Chiefs, and the Bengals. But I'm gonna have to go with, because granted, Joe Burrow's been there, done that. Even though they ain't win the Super Bowl, they know what it takes to get there. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes with the crew, they've been there, done that. The Bills, they always get right there with it. Yeah. I'm gonna go with. Give me Chiefs, Vikings.
Okay.
And might as well get Patrick Mahomes a second Super Bowl.
Okay. How's your fantasy been doing?
It's been going, I'll say decent. I think 7 teams. I said out of 7 teams, 4 are in the playoffs.
Oh, you got 17?
Yeah.
Like real leads, or you just threw your team in like these autos?
Some of them is like, I think 2 or 3 are actually, I'm a part of a league with other people I know.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other 4 is just, I just hop in a league.
Okay, then.
But an interesting thing I do is, be like, damn, Jake, you crazy for this. Some in the leagues I just join just to join. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do a auto draft. I just let them pick my team.
Yeah.
I just come back. Oh, this is what I got. Let's work with it.
Like you do for so you do that how you do the March Madness brackets like that, something like that. You just create, because a lot of people thinking when you in fantasy, it's like a week by week thing. Like for me, you got some leagues, you got money involved. Mm-hmm. So you saying for the ones that you just auto do, you just auto like whoever. Like it's not a league you invested in like that. Yeah, it's okay.
Like, I just work with what I got. Of course, throughout the season, you pick people up here and there, but I just work with what I got. Sometimes I actually do pretty good in some of my auto draft leagues. I think I won a couple. Usually, I win at least one a year in an auto draft league. Okay,
so I might try to do that because this is my first year doing it, and I've enjoyed it. Like, me as a person who not really invested in the NFL team, I'm more of a players guy, so I've enjoyed it from that aspect. Of course, like I said, Derek Carr, being my first year, everybody like, oh, you got to get a good running back. You got to get a good running back. So I picked up Najee Harris, thinking, just somebody I know of, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But next year, I definitely got players who I know. Like, I'm seeing how Diggs and Josh Allen, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. I'm seeing different people who I'm like, shit, even Justin Fields. I got Justin Fields. And I'm like, okay, I can go with my boy for the time being, if Chicago were to give him some damn protection or something. But we're going to talk about that another time. I'm like, okay, I can see how that worked. Running backs, I've been trashed because every running back I done picked except Najee Harris that had injuries. So I got 2 on IR right now. And I was like, you know what? I'm not about to even get into it. Just let them sit out, whatever. So.
I actually had in one of my money leagues, I had a monster team. I ain't gonna lie. I had Joe Burrow was my QB. Mm-hmm. I had that dude for the Jets, Breece Hall. He was like a rookie. He got hurt. Okay. But my wide receiver core, just check this out. My wide receiver core, fully healthy, was Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins. And they only played like 2 weeks before Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Damn.
Yeah, and people in my league laughed at me when I drafted DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I was about to say he was out for most of the season.
Yeah, I was like, when you got Cooper Kupp and A.J. Brown, you could wait.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, like I said, injuries, man. But I say 4 teams out of 7. 7 is like that's a low number for fantasy. Usually one year I had 8 teams.
Damn.
And I ain't gonna lie, I think next year I might bump it down to like 5 because 8 teams, that's it's a lot. Because sometimes you be like, you got Patrick Mahomes in one week, he throw 5 touchdowns. I'm like, okay, Pat Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns for my team. Going to another league, the other guy got Patrick Mahomes, and he threw for 5 touchdowns. You're like, dang.
Yeah.
You're winning by 50 in one league. You're losing by 50 in the other league.
Yeah, that would be getting me. I'd be like, I'll have somebody for, let's say, for the Vikings, for instance. I had the kicker when they beat the Colts. I had the kicker. He gave me great points, but the person I was playing had Justin Jefferson. And I was like, damn, that canceled it. That definitely canceled it out. I was like, okay, the kicker gave me some points, but the wide receiver who actually making the plays, the person, my opponent got him. So I was like, you got to take what you take, though. At the end of the day, still got the points, but shit, Jefferson gave him way more points than the kicker gave me.
But at the end of the day, at least it wasn't like me and drafted Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
with your quarterback.
Man, that's a. Yeah, and Denver just never. When I saw that, I was like, for one, I thought he would just be one of those guys, him and Pete Carroll in Seattle. I thought it was going to be like that and end like that. So
now they said that for a couple of years they were. I'm not saying on the outs, but maybe
really since that Super Bowl loss.
Yeah, that's
to
probably
the Patriots.
That's probably the best way.
Yep, because that's just. I mean, right there, you got Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah. All right, man. So Jake, I appreciate you for coming through, man. Thank you for coming. Before we leave, just leave the people with some motivation. You know what I'm saying? Something for the new year. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, leave the episode on a positive note.
I say positive note, words of wisdom. I say just don't be afraid to step out your comfort zone. If you want to do something, podcast, you want to do a food page, workout page, art, anything, and you're hesitant about, well, I don't think everybody gonna want to see this and do that. Let's say you post something on your new venture, it only gets like 4 likes, but that's 4 more likes you would have gotten if you didn't do it at all. But that's probably we'll end it on that. Just don't be afraid to step out your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try something new because you never know. You might like whatever you do, and that wouldn't have happened if you never would have tried it.
Man, one thing I've been repeating for the past month, I feel like when I have those conversations. The world bigger than your community.
Oh, yeah.
The world is bigger than your neighborhood. The world is bigger than your circle. Just because this person don't want to hear it or see it, don't mean somebody in Arkansas or Kentucky, California, wherever, that don't mean they don't want to. Florida, you know what I'm saying? Just that's the one, like I said, one of the good things about social media, get your stuff out there for anybody and everybody to see it. So whenever you do it, just put your mind to it, man, and put something out that you feel comfortable with. If you feel comfortable talking to Instagram models and talk about relationships, 50-50 and all that, somebody want to hear it, I'm sure. But just know, whatever you put, everybody, it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? If it does turn out for everybody, salute. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't like this song, don't mean it's not a hit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a lot of people be thinking about, like, oh, everybody got to like it, everybody. It's not for everybody to like, man. If you play a song, if I play Jake a song and Jake was like, oh, yeah, man, Tyler, that ride, whatever. Somebody else listen to it. Oh, I don't know about that. And then I'll be like, oh, well, Jake said he like it, but this person don't like it, so it must not be good. No, Jake just got a different ear than this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything's subjective.
You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift sold like 1 million in a week or something like that. Yeah. So my opinion don't matter because Taylor Swift got other fans.
There's an audience out there for everybody.
There's an audience out there for everybody, man. So that's one thing I really want to bring into 2023. If you're doing content, whatever, just put it out. Somebody want to see it. Somebody looking forward to seeing it, reading it, all that. So just bet on yourself at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so once again, my partner Jake came through in the studio. First time in the studio, definitely not the last. Once again, bro, I want to appreciate you for coming through. There's been another episode of Stash House Podcast. Make sure you guys go out, have a great work week, great school week. Stay warm, drink some water. Keep me in prayers. I do the same for y'all. Salute.